Hey folks, I know there's a buzz in the guitar community, I'm going to say the word, around Firefly and more recently Grote, G-R-O-T-E guitars. So I actually ordered a couple when I thought the price was irresistible. And I ordered this telly-shaped Grote that you see here. I got the purple one. It's sort of a telly with humbuckers. And then I also, because the price is really low right now, they're both around 135, something like that. Also ordered this green thin line telly from Firefly. And they both came, but I don't have them, and I'll tell you why. Again, I did not shoot videos of them because I got myself into a return situation, and that has to happen quickly, so I'm not going to mess around filming with something that I want to go back to the shipper or the seller. So anyway, the Grote guitar came first. The first thing to state about Grote is they are starting to make a buzz. A lot of my fellow guitar channel proprietors are doing videos on Grote guitars. They have a series of entry-level guitars. They have some nicer hollow and semi-hollows that seem to be a great deal, and they're almost at the same respectability plateau as Firefly. Not quite. They haven't quite exploded to that level. So people are raving about them, and my question in this video is, are they overrated? I mean, there's a lot of these companies that we've looked at. We've looked at Indio guitars from Monoprice. We've looked at the Agile Douglas SX guitars from Rondo. We've looked at Harley Benton's from Thomann. I've brought various videos of the IYV guitars from Vietnam that you can get on eBay. I've also done one video of a Firefly guitar. I bought one of the semi-hollows, 335 copies, in the matte black, and you might remember that video. I wasn't thrilled with that guitar. It was okay, but from the one I got, didn't really qualify all the praise that I was hearing about Fireflies. I mean, they've become sort of almost a cult-like group with their followers, almost to the level of Harley Benton. Not quite, but getting there. So I did order one Firefly. I set it up and I sold it. I really had no interest in keeping it. It didn't thrill me. And I've just sort of forgotten about Firefly for a while until I saw the price of this telly and thought, why not? You know, Grote I have not any experience with yet. It's something I've been keeping my eye on to see what the what the buzz is about this particular manufacturer. Is the build quality as good as people say it is? Is it any better than some of the other options that we've looked at? And I remember one of my earliest videos was on telecopies. So I was looking forward to receiving these two guitars. The Grote guitar arrived. First of all, the finish is nothing like the picture. It's not that dark purple. It's a rather light, translucent purple. The flame was a bit uneven on the one that I got. Again, I'm sorry I don't have pictures. I just packed it up and shipped it back. I tried to do a setup on it. The neck was warped, side to side warped, so it wasn't a case of just adjusting the truss rod. I could adjust the truss rod and get it straight on one side, and it still had curve on the other side. So it had all kinds of note buzzing issues. Also, the nut was cut too shallow on the treble side. So when I got the guitar about as well as I could with the setup, the top E string sounded really bad. I could have cut a new nut. I could have raised the nut. I could have filled the nut slot and recut it. But you know, I'm not going to do that. When I'm paying $135 for a guitar, it makes more sense if it's a new guitar to just ship it back and get another one. So I got fed up with that, and I packed it up, and Amazon has a really easy return policy. So I just went online, asked for a return, and said replacement fine. So another one's coming. We'll see what that one's like. yeah, so it had neck problems. It had a bad nut cut. One of the tuners, it has locking tuners on the guitar. One of the upper tuners was slipping. I've heard things that people have said those guitars are nice, but the tuners do need to be replaced. They're not very good. That might be true from what I saw. The build quality looked okay. The finish, apart from being completely different than the photo, actually looked quite nice. It is a set neck, but it looks like a neck through because there's no joint anywhere that you can see. It's very light. It looks like a fun guitar, but I was very disappointed in the way it came to me. The action was so high. And then, of course, when I started to set up the guitar, I discovered that there were neck warp issues that couldn't be corrected by a simple truss rod adjustment or just lowering the saddles. It had side-to-side warpage and couldn't be set up. And then with the nut issue as well, I decided to throw it back in the box and ship it back and get another one. So that was the deal with the Grote. Then the Firefly came, and that one actually had a better setup out of the box. The fret ends weren't as sharp. I'm not sure what the difference is in where they come from, but it had a slightly better setup. Of course, there was some adjustments I was going to have to do. I wasn't as impressed with the look and finish of the Firefly as I was with the Grote. Maybe just because I'm a wood guy and I like flamed tops. But it wasn't terrible. It looked all right. I wasn't really too thrilled with that sort of marbleized pickguard on the green, mint green. So I wasn't quite as excited to get that. But when I plugged that one in, I played the neck pickup, works fine. I played the middle pickup, it worked fine, but didn't sound any different. And then I played the bridge pickup, no sound. So only one pickup is working. Again, I could take that apart and probably figure that out, but I'm not going to. So that got put in a box and shipped back. And here's my complaint about Firefly, because everybody's raving about them. I actually bought the guitar because it's out of stock. Their guitars go out of stock so quickly on Amazon. I actually bought the guitar online on eBay from Garden Guitars, which is now their online distributor. So you can actually go to the Garden Guitars website and buy direct, but everything's out of stock. The only stock they have seems to be on the eBay page, but don't buy from anyone but Garden Guitars, because the others are resellers, markup sellers. They're buying them out and then relisting them for $100, $200 more. Scalpers, people are calling them. It's not quite the correct term, but it's the same principle. So I got them from Garden Guitars, not direct, but on their eBay page, because they're the only ones that had any stock on anything. And when I went to file the return through eBay, the electronics don't work. I'm just going to ship this back and either get a credit, a refund, or have another one shipped. Well, first of all, there's no option to get another one shipped. It's, you get a refund and you buy another one if you want. So I, completed the online form for the refund, and then it took Green Garden Guitar Garden. It took them 2 days to send me a return label to have it shipped back, which is really annoying. And I wrote to them a couple times. I'm like, hey, I have this guitar boxed up, ready to return. The electronics don't work. Can you send me a return label so I can get it in the post? And I didn't hear back for a day, and then finally I heard back from them, and they demanded for me to tell them the serial number of the guitar. And I said, this is not standard practice. The guitar is packed up. I've never had to give a serial number to return an eBay guitar. And this is not something that comes through eBay itself. It's just something they requested in a message, which I thought was rather arrogant. Maybe they've had people returning guitars that they didn't buy through that particular channel, and so they're trying to clean that up. But thing is, if you receive a guitar and it's defective, and you they may ask for photos. Of course, you can't really provide photos for defective electronics, but they have to take the guitar back. And so them asking me to do that was annoying. So I didn't hear from them for another day. So I eventually did pop the box open and get the serial number off the back, sent them the serial number, said, here's the serial number, now send me my damn return label. So I'm really annoyed with them for all the raving and cult-like adulation that's going to Firefly right now. I'm really not impressed. A, with their customer service, and B, with the fact that they shipped out a guitar and the electronics weren't checked. Now, it could be that the electronics were fine, and somewhere in the journey, something got knocked loose. Stuff happens. I realize that. But anyway, if I ship a guitar and I make a mistake and I ship a defective guitar to someone, I have to make that right. I don't get to set terms. So I did finally hear back from them. And the person who appeared to be a woman said, well, we can't send you a return label because you've already shipped the guitar back, but we can send you a replacement with $12 discount. And I said, well, that's weird because I just got the return label and shipped it back. So why am I getting a message saying that you can't send me a return label? And how do I possibly get $12 off the replacement when your eBay auctions are buy it now with a no make an offer function? How do I possibly get a discount? There's no discount code. There's no make an offer function. And she writes back, goes, oh, there was a mistake. Yeah, it appears that you did get your label, so you don't get the $12 discount on a replacement. And so they offered me a $12 discount to replace a defective guitar, and then they retracted it. So I'm really not impressed, and right now I'm just getting my money back, and I haven't reordered a new one because I'm really kind of annoyed with these people, and I wanted to share this experience. Firefly is being raved about, but my experience so far has been rather subpar. I've been treated a lot better by A, Rondo, B, Monoprice, C, Tellman, even Guitar Fetish have seemed to have better customer service. So I'm really not impressed. So I don't know if I'm going to be getting this guitar. I'm going to be able to make this comparison. I'm getting the Grote, and I will do a video on those and let you know what I think. But I'm not so sure I'm going to get the replacement of the Firefly after tax. When I looked at the amount of money after tax, I thought, do I really want this? Even for just the purposes of doing a video, setting it up and reselling it, it doesn't seem like it's worth my time based on the guitar I got and the look of the guitar, the feel of the guitar, and the work that I'd have to do. So I'm going to think about that, and I'll update you. But I just wanted to know what your experience is. There seems to be a big clamoring and a lot of videos being put out about Firefly and now Grote guitars, and so far my experience has not been great with either company. So we'll see if either one remedies that. It's possible I just got a bad one and Grote will send me a good guitar the next time round. They do have a lot of great reviews on their Amazon pages. People getting guitars that were great out of the box, great bargains, that kind of stuff. So we'll see if that was just a one-time issue. And then with Firefly, I don't know. I'm not that impressed. What do you think? What's your experience been? Do you think they're worthy of all the praise and attention they're getting? I mean, I've had similar doubts about Glary, haven't I? And now it extends to Firefly. Yeah, they've got to do a lot to convince me. So there should be an update to this at some point. See you next time.